Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, Brazil welcomes the reconvening of the 10th emergency session of the General Assembly after the failure by the Security Council to adopt any of 4 draft resolutions on the situation in Israel and Palestine. One of them was proposed by Brazil and not adopted due to the veto of 1 permanent member, despite having received 12 votes in favor, 4/5 of the Council membership. We worked tirelessly in an inclusive and constructive manner with diligence and sense of duty with all delegations willing to engage with our proposal. Our goal was that of presenting a text that carried a resolute and united response by the Security Council. We did not shy away from the negotiations and deliberations on the proposals that were put forward by other members of the Security Council. We still believe that our first draft could have been the best possible outcome of the Council when we presented it. The robust support given by Council members to the resolution, for which we are very grateful, indicates that it was a balanced text. It was solidly rooted in international humanitarian law and international human rights law, and fundamentally committed to the humanitarian imperative. Such imperative demands that we be clear and firm in our condemnation of all violence against all civilians, Israelis, Palestinians, or otherwise. This is why my delegation expressed and now reiterates Brazil's unequivocal condemnation of the heinous terrorist acts by Hamas, including the taking of hostages. This is also why we clearly condemn the attacks that are indiscriminately killing and wounding civilians and destroying civilian objects in the Gaza Strip, and the deprivation of its civilian population of means indispensable for their survival. It is again the humanitarian imperative and international humanitarian law that indicate what must be done. All hostages must be immediately and unconditionally released. Continuous, sufficient, and unhindered provision of essential goods and services to civilians throughout the Gaza Strip, including but not limited to water, food, medical supplies, fuel, and electricity, must be secured. It is also urgent to guarantee full, rapid, safe, and unhindered humanitarian access. Mechanisms such as humanitarian pauses and corridors must be swiftly established to facilitate the provision of humanitarian aid. A cessation of hostilities is urgently needed so that conditions be created for a complete, durable, and respected ceasefire. Our collective response to this crisis, which we all fear will only aggravate if nothing is done, will be a watershed moment for the United Nations. It will be a testament to the effectiveness of multilateralism or its further weakening. It will show whether the United Nations can be serious about preventing, stopping, or at least mitigating the horrors of war. This Assembly and the Security Council must act decisively. The world is watching us, and this is not rhetoric. The world is truly watching us and expects an effective response. Brazil will continue to work tirelessly as President and then as a regular member of the Security Council to make its voice heard loud and clear on this heartbreaking conflict. And when the immediate crisis is overcome, we all must redouble efforts to address the root causes of the tragedy unfolding before our eyes. Mere conflict management has failed. It is the recipe for continued violence and permanent instability. I thank you.
This has been the Nod News Network. Transmission complete.